Only 9:30 in the morning, and it's already getting hot, sticky weather in UK. The problem is the humidity levels, not the heat as much. When the two are combined, it just feels a lot hotter than uh, it would feel in countries with lower humidity. Foreigners actually know what we're moaning about in UK when they come over. It's the same with parts of so-called United States. United my ass. Um, let's not go off on a tangent. Florida, humidity, because of the shape, is like you're surrounded by ocean, either very close either side of Florida, and all that moisture comes up in the air, and it's just sticky heat, humidity. So I get on with the room. We've been taking up, or I have been taking up the carpet, detaching these strips that were in the floor. The carpet grips. If you're removing those in your own home, if you're removing those, uh, and you got them, be careful. They're a strip to help grip the carpet to sides so it don't move too much. Fine. They're nailed in, and how it grips is because there's smaller nails coming out. It's a carpet grip. You have to use something rough to grip the carpet with, and then in this case it's nails. Take that up, and these nails are very, very sharp. Okay, so if you're gonna have a whole bunch of them, and there's stripped up, there's a few just over in the corner, ready to be prized out the floor. I want to really get going a little bit before it gets too hot, but probably already too late. I can feel the heat building in this room. Windows open. What I might do is open the what's it called? Thing hatch thingy majiggy to the attic, so more heat can travel out upwards in case any's trapped, so it gets too might get too sticky in here. So before I went off on a bit of a tangent, get rid of these, break these down, get rid of the carpet, and money permitting, eventually I'll have vinyl flooring, yeah, and it'll be planks. You can buy laminate planks and it all slots into each other. I'll be doing this myself. I was thinking about, do I look for a certain vinyl style and then get somebody to put it down? But then you've got to move the desk out as well and everything out of here for somebody to do it, and then it's a little bit more expensive to get them to do it. I haven't got the money all at once. I got it a bit at a time. So I'm going to do it a bit at a time. I'm going to put down, buy vinyl planks that have a locking system. Looking at YouTube, it actually appears to be very easy for a Joe Blogs like myself, average person, to be able to do this, who's relatively new to that sort of thing. There will be some things I'll come across, and thinking about it, to mitigate the worst, the planks will go across the length of the room anyway, rather than the this way. Reason for that is relatively the room would be very easy because it's just an oblong. Other than the entrance to the room, that is just over there. There's the door. Interesting to have a room with three doors, but only one exit and entrance door because it's two cubby holes. Great, and really effective. The one here for storage. get to that in a bit. So the locking system, these planks do come with underlay. You can get them with underlay already attached. I don't want to do that because of cost. I already have underlay roll, which will be unrolled, cut up, and taped down. Anyway, there's underlay for the carpet. I'm not going to be using that. You can get a sticky back if you got like a really easy flat concrete floor or whatever, not wooden boards. Get some sticky back, vinyl flooring, planks, and so I've seen that done on the people are doing it on some YouTube videos, and it looks pretty cool. And anything going wrong with the planks are easy to replace as well, because anything gone wrong with a whole sheet, a whole floor of one vinyl piece, try to cut off that bit and replace it. It's not gonna look the same with you just replace a whole plank, get it slotted in, sealed. It's waterproof as well because it's PVC. This is what the vinyl is. Whereas laminate, some people like laminate because hard wearing, but however, it's not so good if you get it wet. If any potential of getting it wet, where it's sputtages or anything else, because it's composite. It's usually made out of composite wood or not MDF, but it was something similar. It's combined manufactured woods, some plastics mixed in. It's type of material though that can expand once wet, which a lot of woods do. It's going to warp the whole floor in a way that is detrimental because it's going to buff up against the expansion is going to buff up against something that's harder. Any expansion and contraction with vinyl will be uniform, and things expand and contract with hot heat and cold anyway, and you're not going to see it. There may be some slight undulation effect, really, because you're going over something that's not entirely flat because of wooden floorboards, and you're going to get a little bit here and there. The more softer underlay you got, the thicker underlay you got, the more you're going to mitigate that. And the flatter these floorboards are pretty good actually. Anyway, relatively flat. Much older buildings may have these rounded wooden boards and they're a little bit out of sync with each other. And I'm talking like proper old buildings, and this is the type of building there's issues of the walls, they're not level, and it's just they threw these buildings together, and you just wonder what the hell's going on. It's just the way they went up, because it's like they improvised on a lot of materials here and there, like the wooden, and it's been patched up. It's fine. The wooden shelving for the window embedded into the brickwork. Well, again, things expand and contract. That's wood. And sure, it's painted, it's sealed. However, it would still expand with heat and contract, and against something that hasn't had the gap to compensate for that against the bricks. In the plaster, we saw like these cracks on the corners coming down from if they chose, there's other materials that they use in building now to mitigate that happening. Even when they were building these buildings, there's that changeover to mitigate things like that happening. But it's not major. It's just, but wallpaper will be over that. There is it's like a hairline crack. You probably can't see it, maybe, but over to the left of the curtain, there's a hairline crack. but it has been filled in with plaster before and painted over. Those are the sort of things you have to touch up here and there, and over time as your house settles, if it's new. And this is like 30 plus years anyway. Building's been here, so that to me is still a relatively new building. Because again, we're talking about older buildings, are much older, have the old type of floorboarding that isn't going to be that level. But this is as level as we're going to get, I think, in direction to it's going to be okay. It should be fine for the vinyl flooring. Again, I will be using the underlay as well. Just wanted to quickly show you. I got the first time I did this with cable ties for a desk. I had a huge newfound respect for cable ties. People take cable ties for granted. The person whoever it was who invented cable ties must have made a lot of money in a very short time because they're so damn useful. Because you can daisy chain them together, so you end up with a longer cable tie anyway. So I have my extension slots here off this laptop and my spare screen here. This laptop is, people shy away from buying laptops. It's expandable. It's not like these pathetic laptops you buy. They seal everything. Go with Lenovo. They have that. They exploit that market where you're allowed to get in there. You're allowed to open it up. You're allowed to expand the memory. Some are actually working on, I think it's Lenovo are actually working on laptops now. There's certain designs for main boards that would go in these things for a certain laptop model. So you can upgrade your whole computer within a laptop framework with a laptop form. I know it's still never going to be as flexible as a desktop, but it's getting there, and you save so much room getting a laptop if you can. You don't, depending on what you do, you don't always need something really super powerful, but I like something reasonably just above what I need anyway, because it's kind of future proofing. But I changed the drives in there. They're NVMe drives, 2 separate drives, dual boot. You can put a what they're called, somewhere SD solids SDD solids solid state SSD drive, solid state drive in there, the small ones. But that's really what NVMe is as well, but even smaller it's like strip of chips really. And they're really fast access. So I changed that. Modification on Lenovo really old laptops, ThinkPads. It's so modifiable. You change a lot on that, but they're getting back to that level of modification. Anyway, let's have a look at more cable tie-in. So we have that done for the front, and that's these slots, expansion USB things are on the desk, right? Easy access right here as I need them. And the cable that come off it was relatively a bit too long, but that's okay. I wrapped it around just there, cable tied, and then it's got underneath here, and then at the back of the laptop, HDMI cable with coming out, cable tied to this bar and back around along the top bar at the back of the shelving there, and then through down a bit down the back of the spare screen. The microphone cable, that's you'll see it coming up and around and down, and it's very long. It's coming down and it's behind this bit all the way down and then across and up here, cross and up and around and straight into the expansion USB slots. And it's just, the point is, it's cables out of the way, and I hate it. With rewind over the years, you plug something in and you have a bit of a shuffle around, you unplug and plug it somewhere else. Now you've swapped cables around, and it's like, and you get baffled and like, oh, it always gets messy down there, and behind the desk, you always get cables everywhere. Well, get some cable ties and do what I've done. You will not be able to thank me enough if you get cable ties and just get them tied out of the way. Use the framework of your desk to get it hidden and cabled out of the way. The cable ties I used are black. It matches the black colouring of the support, the framework. Got a shelving through, and this arrived today, the actual plank of wood, and the brackets fitted shelving brackets, shelving things that were already on the wall and holes already in anyway. Although the shelving that was there, I didn't like. It was like white plasticky mold thing on the wall and a curvy white thing that just slotted in. It just didn't look right for the rest of the look and feel for the room. So £33 for the plank of wood, 30 something for the brackets, the metal brackets. So there was like 2mm something or other difference of the alignment for the screws to go in from the old one that was on there. I did measure and it looked about right, and it was roughly right. I thought it made the screw slightly tighter to screw in, but it's okay. It's actually very secure. So take that off. But it's a solid piece of wood as well. It's just nice, thick piece of wood, and I went for this coloration to kind of match the look and feel for the rest. The desk. There we go, similar sort of thing. But this is actual wood, where this is like the desk is like composite materials. This is a real solid piece of wood. Straight off eBay, super packed as well with packaging. It's a proper heavy, chunky bit of wood. So the brackets, as you can see, they're just metal brackets that use the wall plugs that were already in the wall and screwed them in. I mean, moving stuff around, I've got so many both in this drawer. So many new screws and things. They're not new, they're just things I've taken apart and took shelving off of a room and different things. Things I don't know what that is that I found. And spares from old desks, as well as other things, other screws, nails. All of that's going to be coming in handy some point, I'm sure. If I decide to modify anything here and there. The old desk, part of it over there. I was readjusting the top because it was over a little bit with the top of the leg framework exposed. That's because even though it was screwed in, that was because it's part of a larger desk that exposed bit slotted in. Unscrewed that, moved it flat to make a table. It's just glued the top on, so now they have a separate table from it. The drawer, that's like this thingy, for a keyboard or whatever it's meant to be. That can be taken off and put on the other piece, which I might do actually. I don't know. We'll find out different pros and cons. But for now, today, I concentrate on getting bits of the carpet, remove that, and a few more, taking this out of the floor. The talking about this room having 3 doors, only one exit and entrance door. This door to my left, cubby hole, cupboard hole. You come in the house, there's used to be an incline going all the way up, straight up, and then straight across. Now, instead of going up, if you think of a line, just draw the line like this, then like that. Now it's triangled off with a board above our heads going up, and all looks fine, it's all put away. And above that triangle piece, behind this wall, where you walk up the stairs, is shelving in there now. Extra shelving, and that was done years ago anyway. So, and it's 3 tiered. You got the first one just fairly shallow, you put stuff in. There's another one much deeper, and then there's another one deeper still. And that's great. That's another reason why I want a plug socket in there. Just electricians put a plug socket, 2 plug sockets in the cubby hole. It is this cupboard hole, or whatever you want to call it. We call them cubby holes in the UK as a slang term. Sorry about that. So that, they got the extension cable in and plugged in a strip plug. Strip plugs, they're just basically a row of plug sockets to extend from your main plug socket. You might think, well, of course they are. I don't know what you would call them in other countries and different electrics in other countries, so that's why I made that point. And it hammered, neatly tagged the cable around the bottom bit the shelving is in the cupboard, then it would come just underneath the door and up onto the frame that goes around the door when it's shut. And you might think, well, no, you can't shut the door. No, I can. It will come just under the gap, and as you can see, if I can move the camera around, I'm all over the place here. Just there's 2 black. There we go. A row of plug sockets attached to the socket side. The door shuts fine. That's out the way, and means again I can plug things in immediately here, and that's it. They're all in the other cubby hole. Whole bunch of cable ties. Again, if I need to plug anything in there, cable out would be more permanent. It'd be cable tied. The cable will be cable tied neatly out of the way, not hanging down, not looping anywhere, not tripping anybody's feet up. Out the way, neat and tidy, and clean and professional. So that's probably it in a nutshell for now. Put beading down probably once the vinyl flooring is down. beading that would be along the skirting board, just to pinch the vinyl in a little bit more. And it wouldn't be a problem anyway. You just be able to like push it into to the gap under the skirting board anyway. You can see there's a 5mm gap, maybe 5mm, fine. Underlay will be put down. Yeah, I'm thinking about finances. When will I get the whole floor done? I don't. I couldn't tell you at this point. Could take a long time because of money permitting. Waiting on pause. Pause buying the wallpaper for now. Um, till payday because there's other things I want to pay for the room. And get payday, and then I'll buy a bunch of wallpaper rolls again and just finish this room wallpapering. I love the wallpaper, it's a nice look, and it's certainly worked for the mood for the room that I'm going for. A corner sofa will be going just here in this, literally in this corner. And once the flooring's down with that, you know, it's a nice image I have in my mind. It's practical, it's comfortable, it's chilled, and it's more like a living quarters with the electrics done and all that as well. May even bring in some other appliances. There's room in the cupboard hole. There may be other things. We'll get there. I'll talk about that when I. Certainly there'll be a fish tank in here. I'll get the ecosystem going again. When? I don't know. You're gonna have to be patient. Trust me, I know that I want it all done right away. Can't afford to. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I look forward to doing the next video. I'll put some of this, cut some of this up actually for a larger video to come, but this will be its own separate video as well. Cheers, bye bye, take care.